Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought before the light completely faded I would just give a quick show and mini review of this little beauty, the Huda 3D highlighter palette. Just look at the lovely cover there, which I'm wearing today, and I haven't had it very long, but I've already got some thoughts about it. And also, by way of comparison, the same theme, the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlighter, which I've been using quite a lot actually, and I had planned to do a kind of global Charlotte Tilbury video because I've had a number of products from there recently, but I'm not really ready to talk about some of them, so thought I'd do it this way. So the Huda 3D highlighter palette I did not buy. Haha, you say. Finally she's being sent some PR freebies. No, I'm afraid not. This is part of a very large cult beauty gift with purchase that I got last week before last possibly, that I didn't really open. In fact, I haven't really properly explored yet, so I may show you the rest of that later this week. I had a very expensive purchase that I'm definitely going to be talking to you about because it's a beauty tool, but again I'm having a few problems with it, so sorry to be mysterious. It's the Zip electronic tool that some of you may have heard about that I finally indulged in. Anyway, amongst the cult beauty free gift with purchase was the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette, and it's a full size, and I believe these retail for £40, so that on its own was quite a good gift. And you know how I love highlighters, so I was very excited when I saw this was in there. There it is. So I was quite surprised when I saw it because I hadn't read about this. I've now looked at a few reviews both on YouTube and blog posts and kind of worked out how to use it, because that was kind of mysterious to me as well, that I got these apparently a kind of bronzer and a blush, as well as what looked like two more slightly conventional highlighters. Just so you can see, the package kind of says that this top one is for prep, a base, and then you set it with this one up here, the kind of true highlighter, and then you sculpt underneath with the bronze highlighter and flush with the pink highlighter. There are in fact two colorways of this palette, a cool toned and a warm toned. This is the warm toned. And to be truthful, this probably is not the one I would have chosen of the two had I been left to purchase it, because although I'm relatively neutral, I'm kind of between cool and warm toned. I tend to wear cool toned colours more than warm toned, particularly unless the weather's very hot, which, let's face it, in the UK isn't very often. But I'm very pleased I got sent this one, because having looked at them being applied on YouTube, I think the cool toned would have been a bit kind of ordinary and pale, even for me, pale as I am. So I looked at various people applying, and let's swatch it, because if I hadn't looked I wouldn't have known. This is definitely a sort of cream. You can see quite a strong goldeny colour. And when you apply it to the skin, although it feels very creamy when you dip your finger in it, it kind of, it's a more cream to powder. So it's quite bright even on its own. But what you're supposed to do is kind of dust that across the cheekbones or wherever you want to highlight as a base. That's Fiji. And then on top of it, put this more conventional powder, which comes off the same sort of colour to set it, and that really ramps up the gold that I hope you can see. When I apply it, I actually, having watched the videos, use a very small soft brush, the sort of brush that I would use normally to brush out concealer under eye I'm using for this, or did this morning. And then I did, not kind of in the hollows of my cheeks, because it isn't a bronzer. I mean, it is definitely still a highlighter, but more kind of rose gold, but kind of just under, put the rosy one. And then I did go in kind of on the apples of the cheeks with, there you go, really beautiful pinky rosy. So you can kind of see where the 3D comes in, because by kind of packing it on, overlapping, but slightly in stripes, you get this kind of contouring effect. But it's very definitely a highlighter, or you can kind of mix them together and it's a beautiful multi-tone gold. I really like it, actually. With the brush, you can make it definitely a bit more subtle, which is not a bad thing, even though I like in-the-face highlighters. I think the cream is going to use up much quicker than the powders, I suspect, but I'm really liking it, and I think it would suit a lot of skin tones. As I say, I thought it would be a bit too strong and deep for me. There you can see, I think they've used it on the eyelids as well there, as the kind of cheek, as well as the cheekbones. I just used it on my cheeks today. I thought it looked really, really pretty. So, yeah, liking it so far. I bought this probably a month, 6 weeks ago, and you can see I've used quite a lot. It doesn't feel like there's a lot in it. This is the Huda Beauty Wand Easy Highlighter. I saw this, I think, on YouTube, and was very taken with it. It's got one of these spongy applicators, which I don't love because they become a bit gungy quite quickly, and you kind of squeeze. And you can see there, it's definitely a lighter silvery, rose silver, I'd say, compared to the powder. It definitely gives a really nice sheen, and it's very easy to apply on the cheekbones. What I'm in two minds about, aside from the fact that I seem to be using it up very quickly, so it's not particularly economical, is I find it's so liquidy, it kind of shifts my blush even if I've set it. So if I apply it, which I generally do, kind of at the top of my cheekbones where the contouring blush has shaded out, it kind of gives a bit of a white stripe, if you know what I mean. If I'm not really, really careful and really, really gentle, I have to really kind of dot it and then pat it in with the fingers, which is no bad thing, but, you know, I'm a bit ham-fisted early in the morning when I'm doing my makeup. So it's not my favourite product to use. I've lost the lid there. Not quite as easy to apply as I first thought. It's not difficult to apply, you know, I'm being super picky there. As liquid highlighters go, it's a very pretty shade and it's fairly subtle for pale-skinned women. I will say that Charlotte Tilbury seems to be bringing out an awful lot of kind of highlighter products at the moment. There's a whole range now of, I would say, the equivalent of Becca's liquid shimmering perfectors come out. I haven't got one yet. I've forgotten what they're called, but they're part of this Hollywood range. And, you know, there are a number of different powdered versions as well. So she's definitely expanding the range. You know, I'm a lover of highlighter, but even I have my limits. So, yeah. Of the two, I definitely prefer this, although obviously at £40, I think this is 20 something. I ought to look up and put it in the information below. But as I say, I'm going through it pretty quickly. You know, I think it's pretty similar in appearance to the Benefit Moonshine, and I can't remember what the more silvery one in a bottle is called, which would definitely last longer, and with the little brush as opposed to the sponge is much easier to apply as a liquid without compromising your blush underneath. So that's what I'd say about that, but it's not a bad product, as I say. So if you like this video, please a thumbs up would help me out, and until next time, bye for now.